Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. Ooh, this light is kind of bright. All right, let me dim it a little bit, just a little bit. All right, this is. Let me break. Oh, okay, that's good enough. All right. Anyways, I wanted to come and talk about some mess. Right now a hot topic of conversation is Kenya Samamoa, and I call her Bang Bang Edie. They say her name is Britt Edie, but I call her Bang Bang Cleo Edie. Okay? They say that a broken clock is right at least twice a day. Isn't that how the saying goes? Well, Gizelle Bryant of the Real Housewives of Potomac, she came out and she had a little bit to say. This is according to the Jasmine brand. Gizelle Bryant expressed hope that Kenya Moore will return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, while criticizing newcomer Britt Edie for referencing her PISTOL during an argument with Kenya. On the virtual reality podcast, Jazelle stated, "If one is gone, they both should be gone." Okay, if one is there, they both should be there. Now, let me go ahead and play this audio of Jazelle, and then, I'll give my little 1-2 about what I think about Jazelle and what she stated.
You hopeful that Kenya will come back to Atlanta?
I would like that, and I'll give you my 2 cents on that.
Okay.
We had Kenya, who called Pistol Girl a peasant.
Yes.
But that's kind of like a rite of passage. Like, Kenya's probably called me a peasant at one point in time. I'm not even on the show, right?
It's the same.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, thank you, right?
Yeah.
And that was turned into, I'm going to get a pistol, right? That's like, wow.
That's yeah.
So had she been, this is also a person that's probably not been with Bravo for more than 30 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, you should have been fired on the spot.
For the pistol comment. Yeah.
And so we never would have gotten to the
hair care moment.
Yes, hair care moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should have never even gotten there, because that should have been nipped in the bud immediately. It would have been on Potomac, I'm going to say that.
That's okay.
So if one is gone, they both should be gone. If one is there, they both should be there.
I see. Okay.
Listen, I'm not mad at it. Y'all already know I'm not mad at it. I've pretty much been consistent in my thoughts about the whole mess that happened a few weeks ago on the show. I mean, it is what it is, right? But if one is received their pink slip and white box, both should have received their pink slip in their white box. One thing I will say, even though I think it's hilarious that a lot of us don't refer to her as girl, I don't know if that's a government name or not, but as her stage name, government name, the name that she presented to us as what her name is, Britt Edie, we call her everything underneath the sun. Benadryl, Brandy, Bertha, girl, Bang Bang, girl, what else? Anything that's song with a baby. B, Beatrice, girl, BB, okay. Anything that starts with a B, we call her, except what she told us her name was. So I think it's a little funny when we do it, but I really thought it was hilarious that Jazelle got down to an interview and referred to that woman as Pistol Girl. There's one thing for us to come down here to YouTube and sit on our couch, or go down to the Instagram or Twitter in the comment section and refer to her as Bang Bang Edie, a Brandy, right? Girl, whoops and pistols. Girl, but for Jazelle to go to an interview and refer to that woman, girl, as Pistol Girl. Oh, girl, that did kind of crack me up a little bit. That kind of cracked me up just a little bit. Just a little bit, excuse me. But I have to agree, Kenya is gone. That's just the fact. She got fired. Bang Bang Edie did not. I think they made a horrible mistake. I don't care what Kenya did. I just don't. At this point, I'm over it. A lot of people want to say that Kenya took it too far. Again, I know some people may be new to my channel, but I've talked about this girl very much in detail, as much as I can with the information that I know. And I've given my thoughts and opinions. I was actually disgusted when I first saw. Well, I didn't see it. We didn't actually see it, but we saw, girl, where it was headed to, and we were told what was on the poster board. Right? I was disgusted. I didn't like it. I did think it was beneath Kenya. I didn't like the fact that she did it at her salon. But at this point, I'm over it. And just like Giselle said, girl, you've only been, and that's the thing. Like, I think the thing that I will never grasp is why is Bravo putting so much into the Britt Edie basket, right? Because let me just break this down for the people. We didn't know this lady at all until she became an employee of NBC Universal, Bravo, whomever. She had only been filming for a few weeks, 3 to 4 weeks. Miss Thing hadn't even really made it out of her probationary period. Okay, because she hadn't even made it out of her 90 days. So even if Bravo would have gotten rid of her, what would have really changed in the grand scheme of the Real Housewives of Atlanta? It's not like we know her. We don't really, y'all could have easily came back and just said that she was a friend of the show. Y'all could have really reduced her parts to a friend of, and y'all could have brought another girl in. Like, there are so many other directions that they could have went with the replacement of Bang Bang Edie, where it would have never changed the course of the show, right? But the fact that they kept her around as if she's this established employee who has been around for seasons, girl, for 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10 seasons, I think is absolutely insane. I do. They should have just let her go. Or just like they did with, I heard like on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, excuse me, one of the new girls this past season, I forgot her name. That's when she was barely even, she barely had any roles. Her name was like Melody or Mickey. I can't remember. They say that she was supposed to have a bigger role as a friend, but they found out that her and her husband, I think had to do with something being anti-LGBTQ. I don't remember, girl. And they say that they reduced her roles, and it really didn't change. It really didn't change anything. You see what I'm saying? Someone who's already an established cast member, a Kenya, a Portia, a Candy, even a Marlo, right? If we saw this person kind of just lingering in the background, we would say, what is going on? Why is Marlo just lingering in the background and she's not really saying that much? If Britt was to just linger in the background, we would just say, girl, she must be a friend of, or she just got, her role just got reduced. We really wouldn't know, and we really wouldn't care that much. You know what I'm saying? So there are so many other avenues, roles they could have taken to kind of just take Britt out of the picture. But no, y'all kept Britt around. Y'all got rid of Kenya when y'all really should have just got rid of Britt from the get-go. And then we wouldn't even be in this mess. But since we are, once y'all got to the point where Kenya did what she did, you should have just let both of them go. You can go, Miss Bang Bang Edie, because this is your first time at conflict, and y'all want to talk about taking it too far. Girl, you've been wanting, your asshole has been scratching, girl, to get into an argument with this woman. And you finally get into an argument with this woman. She calls you a peasant. You call her a bitch in response. And then she disengages, and then you threaten her with pistols and whips. Girl, that's actually taking it too far. And then in response to you threatening her with whips and pistols, she shows you with a dick down your throat. You see what I'm saying? Now I do want to say this about Miss Jazelle though, because we got a tug on Miss Jazelle. Y'all thought I was gonna let her out. Y'all thought I was gonna let Jazelle out of her scot free. We wasn't gonna let we wasn't letting Jizzy out of her scot free. Jizzy, you got some goddamn nerve. Jizzy is always the right message, wrong messenger. Remember when she tried to say that Married to Medicine was overproduced? Now, was it the truth? Yes, it was. But Jazelle ain't got no business talking about nothing being overproduced. Girl. Or what she says, too much producing, whatever the word she used. Jazelle ain't got no business trying to critique nobody and what they got going on the other reality shows. Girl. So this is my thing with Jazelle. Jazelle basically said if she pulled that shit over here in Potomac, baby, her ass would have been gone. No ifs, ands, buts about it. And I would push back on that. I would say it would depend on who she pulled it with. Because we know that Jazelle is a woman who doesn't stand on business. And when I say stand on business, she doesn't stand on what she believes in, right? She'll say that when Monique was banging Candace upside the head, that basically that's not how Black women should act. Did she say Black women or women? Y'all remember the speech she gave season 5, right? I want no parts of this. They even critiqued her and Robin. Robin even critiqued critiqued her being a mother, right? They really wore Monique out for basically fighting Candace. But then fast forward when Wendy was assaulted by Miss Mamma Mia, girl, Jazelle ordered some deep fried Oreos. Y'all don't remember Jazelle sitting there eating her dessert? Jazelle ordered her some cheesecake down to the bar one. Jazelle ordered her a slice of carrot cake, a slice of lemon pie. Girl, Robin said, girl, you antagonizing Mia. It automatically flipped because she didn't like Wendy. So everything she said she stood against, right? It changed because now this person who I said I don't like violence, right? Now somebody's being violent towards her. Now I don't care. So we know with Jazelle, you just never really know. So if this was season 6, season 7, season 8, and someone had pulled this stunt with a cast member, aka Wendy or Candace, and Britt Edie has said this to Wendy or Candace, she wouldn't have said nothing. Best believe it. She would have sat there and finished her goddamn dessert. She would have sat there and finished her cocktail. She would have sat there and kept stuffing her throat with deep fried Oreos. She would have sat there and kept stuffing her throat with deep fried Twinkies. That's some of the shit they be serving down at the rodeo. She would have sat there and finished her chocolate cake. She would have sat there and finished her apple pie with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. She would have sat there and finished her peach cobbler with a scoop of butter pecan ice cream. Pecan ice cream. So, with Jazelle, it again, Jazelle is not. It's like right message, wrong messenger. Girl, just a minute, y'all. Sorry, y'all. I'm cooking like a little midnight snack. Don't judge me. Anyways, so yeah, it's kind of like right message, wrong messenger. I don't necessarily believe Jazelle. If someone had probably pulled the stunt with her, then I think they would have definitely been out of the door. But if they had pulled that stunt with someone who she disliked, like a Candace or a Wendy, she would have championed for them. She wouldn't have cared. She wouldn't have went to human resources. She wouldn't have backed that person up. She wouldn't have made sure that they got out of the. She wouldn't have, because we've seen Jazelle and how she moves when she dislikes you. Everything that she will say she stands for, baby, the bricks will no longer be there. Girl, she will be standing on, the bricks won't be underneath her feet. She's not standing on nothing. but them stovepipe legs, that was unnecessary. I gotta tell a girl, I gotta take that. Girl, y'all know what I'm trying to say, girl. I shouldn't have said that. But that's what Karen said. Karen said she had stovepipe legs. I think Gizelle looked amazing the other night on Watch What Happens Live. So, but anyways, so y'all just want to say that about Miss Jizzy. And let's go ahead and get into Miss Andy Cohen. Andy, long story short, Andy was stopped by TMZ and he was asked about Kenya. You know, Kenya came out with let's see what Kenya doing over here on YouTube. Hold up. Let's see, baby girl. Let me see. Kenya Moore. Baby, Kenya got 475,000 views in 10 days off a 31-minute, 7-second video. Y'all know that's right, Miss Kenya Moore. Girl, you got the Real Housewives of Atlanta over there getting 500,000 views, baby. Live views. Anyway, so Andy came out and he was stopped by TMZ and he was asked about Kenya. And let's just listen to the audio and what she had to say.
Kenya said she was invited and then uninvited to the reunion. How true is this?
I have to watch her whole. I haven't watched her post yet.
Okay.
But
is that true? Is that part true?
we'll talk about it.
Oh my goodness, Andy. Well, okay. Well, is she coming back? Fans want her back. So what's the deal?
I love her. Listen, we there is so much more of this season left, and it is so good. Phaedra comes on in like 5 weeks. It is a jam, and you are gonna love it. And so right now, I'm kind of focusing on the rest of the season.
So not Kenya.
What?
So you're not focusing on Kenya, but she's coming back.
Focusing on the show.
Okay, so when you watch that confessional, let us know.
Okay.
Well, it looks like you were trying to say that she was invited and then uninvited.
That's what it looks like I was trying to say.
Kinda. You were like,
I don't know.
Girl, she's so full of shit. Girl, like I have a love-hate relationship with Andy. I do. Some days I like Andy. Some days she get on my nerves. She do. I do want to go to Watch What Happens Live though. I think that would be so cute. Watch What Happens Live looks like a good time. But anyways, hopefully I can go. But I don't even know how you get tickets. My friend went one time, and I forgot how. He said it was so hard for him to get the tickets. Like his friend knew somebody. Like you have to like know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. I believe. I don't think you could just like. I don't know. I guess I honestly never tried to even get tickets. But I remember him going, and he was saying that they got the tickets like somebody knew somebody who knew somebody. Anyways, hopefully I can make it one day. But yeah, I mean, Andy, he full of shit. He's full of shit. The simple fact that he even said that Phaedra comes back in 5 weeks. Now, mind you, this was asked prior to this week's episode. So now we have 4 weeks till Phaedra comes back. So now we're in episode. What episode just passed? Episode 8. Let me make sure. We're in episode 8. Excuse me, yes, episode 8. So that means that Phaedra comes back in 4 weeks now. So we have episode 9, 10, 11, and 12. I think they only have like 15, 16 episodes. They don't have a lot. You know, it's not like the 22 episode seasons that they used to have outside of the reunion, right? So Phaedra's coming back on the tail end. I saw a clip of Peach Juice talking about she wanted Phaedra back so she could bring that twerk energy. I told y'all. I tried to tell y'all. Y'all don't like to listen to me. I told y'all if Portia was in charge of the girls, what type of vibe it was going to give. I told you. I've been telling y'all this for years. I told y'all when they went to South Carolina, wherever they went, remember the whole Bolo Gate? And I remember just looking at Portia and her friend Shamia, and I said, girl, and I was like, girl, if we ever got a Portia in charge of the girls, I know what it's going to give. Just twerking, pussy eating. Remember Portia said that night when you bitches going to eat my pussy? Remember she said that? Girl. And she want to sit on TV talking about, girl, Candy and Todd was forcing her to a sex dungeon when she told them one of you bitches eating me out tonight. Baby, y'all got so fucking up. Anyway, we might go live tomorrow. Since I'm feeling a whole lot better, baby. But it is what it is. Phaedra comes back in 4 weeks. That's the end of the season. Phaedra's bringing the twerk energy that Portia wanted Phaedra to bring. This is what we're getting this season. I think that who I can't even talk. I don't know who's making the decisions, but I don't know. At this, I think that they're really trying. I can't even talk. They're really trying to sabotage RHOA. That's the only thing I can think of. I know that. I remember I used to hear people say that. I remember hearing people say that years ago, and I used to be like, "Girl, why would they want to sabotage RHOA?" Now I'm starting to believe it because there's no way they're making the moves that they're making without someone trying to intentionally just sink the ship. But it is what it is. It's gonna be what it's gonna be, girl. It's not my job, honey. Girl, as long as we good over here, then we good over here. Okay. All right, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all. We're probably gonna go live tomorrow because we can talk about Patrick McDonald. He's a former Real Housewives of he's a former producer for Bravo, and yeah, I want to talk about some things that he discussed over on Bethany Frankel's show. She kind of get on my nerves. Whitefish from New York. I don't know, something about Bethany. I was around. I was listening when I was that, and I've never listened to Bethany. Bethany strikes me as a like she has this white savior complex in a way. I don't know. It's something about Bethany that kind of strikes me that kind of like, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know anything about Bethany, but the little pieces I know. I remember when Omarosa got her ass together, though. I remember that. I remember when Omarosa got her ass together on her show. Omarosa set her black ass out in front of a room full of white people and told Bethany and every other white woman in the room that y'all get by just off mediocrity. Girl. And then when they all gasped, she was like, "What, girl? What I say? Girl, it's the truth. You get to be mediocre. Girl, I have to be fabulous. I have to be extraordinary. Girl, what? Why y'all gasping? Oh, y'all didn't know that? Omarosa's a drag girls for filth. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good night. Bye, y'all.